Be, please. Enough. Why? As soon as this is on, stop. Quiet. Leave them be. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. Okay, hang on. I don't have my iPad. Hang on. Let's see what's going on. There we go. Wouldn't be Monday without a technical difficulty. Hi, everyone. Hello, Odari on Behance. Hello, Adobe Live. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. Coming off a very busy holiday prep weekend, so I'm ready to just chill with everybody for the next little tiny bit here. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. I hope all the live streams were really good. I was not able to join any, unfortunately. I'm so sorry to everybody, but I hope you had a great time. I'll play some catch up over the next couple days. Okay, so we are going to continue work on our lovely little house here. You'll have seen, if you were here last week, you'll see that there's a lot of progress that's happened. I updated the doors a little bit. I've updated the bricks a little bit. You can see we've put in a little bit more detail, defined a few extra ones here and there. I worked out the trees a little bit. I'm not really sure about this white outline I've created for myself, so I don't, and I probably erased that, so we'll have to take a look at that in a bit. But I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to give this to the person who requested it. So I want to work on this a little bit more, and then we can spend the last live or two of the year working back on the turtle that we were working on last week. So for those of you who were not here last week, this is a bit of a, well, this is a commission, not a bit of a one, an actual commission for the holidays. And it's a childhood home of the person who ordered it. And I am just kind of working off of some reference photos that they had and collaborating with them to make sure that I'm getting everything right. So we're on the right track. I was able to talk to this person last week. And they're liking the direction that we're taking. So I'm going to spend today doing a few more little details and getting it sorted. So I started with a base watercolor. I was doing it by hand for a while, and then getting to a point where I was getting a little bit nervous, where if I made too much of a mistake, I wouldn't have enough time to go back and start again. So that's when I brought it into fresco and started working through it. I've pulled back the some of, like, because I took a photo of it, like a well-lit photo, and manipulated it a little bit. So I've erased out some of the stuff that we don't need, like my desk and the rest of the paper and everything. Cleared all that out, which really brightened it up quite a bit. Went in with some big color washes, and then now I'm going in. These definition pieces on the brick are just what looks like pencil crayon almost. So and so I'm using the pencil tool in fresco to put in those tiny details. So we're going to be doing a little bit more of that today, defining out some of these lines, maybe just kind of doing some of the black line art around the edge. And hopefully we'll be really close to the end, and then we can get this out and printed nicely for the end of the year. Like I said, I'm probably gonna have to get this out this week, so we won't be lingering on this too much. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I think what I have selected here is the pencil tool. It is, yes, okay. So we've got the pencil tool, and I'm just going to be going in and just kind of defining the outlines of some of this. So the house itself, the photos that were taken, it's a little bit run down. It hasn't like been lived in for a little while, different family reasons. So it's a little run down. So what I've been trying to do in the photo is kind of continue to capture the essence of the house itself, and make sure that I'm doing it justice, but not cleaning it up so much that it's not really the house that they lived in. So I'm kind of finding that middle ground there. And I think that this kind of approach with these pencil crayon watercolor kind of softer edges will allow for that, so that it doesn't look, it'll be closer to what they pictured growing up in, and then but not being too polished, because that's not the memory they have of that childhood home, because it was like well lived in, and their dad was adding all these additions and things. So I wanted to stay close to the reality as well. So yeah. Odari says looks amazing. Thank you so much. I'm actually very happy with how this came out and feeling a lot better now that we are in fresco with it. The pressure's off a little bit. If I don't like what I do today, I can erase those layers and move on. But really liking how this is coming together, and so is she, which is the important part. So so just using the pencil tool in fresco right now, and having color, so it's almost like a pencil crayon. It took me way too long for it to occur to me that that's how this could work. I've been using the pencil tool as my main sketch tool for a long time, but the thinking how to use it like a pencil crayon, it took me an embarrassingly long time to think of that. To be perfectly honest, this pencil crayon is like my first tool, so it's weird I didn't make that connection. Okay, so we're just gonna do some here. I want to be very selective in the bricks that I use. I don't want there to be too much rhythm or too much pattern. I also don't want to define each one either, because I think that starts to look a little unrealistic as well. So just pulling out ones where I think it would add some more interest to the view, or some bricks that may need a little bit more hand, especially kind of in the top right here. There's a different kind of series of how the bricks are laid out. Like the ones right underneath the roof are a little bit more kind of the ends of the brick, and then there's 3 layers of thinner brick, and then it gets into like the main house. So I wanted to find a few of those to just kind of have that character in, but not each and every one, because I think that would be just a little too literal, and I don't want to be going that far with this. Not really sure about that second one there, so we'll see what's going on. So yeah, so I've been getting ready for the holidays, trying to ease in. I really want December to be as low-key as a December can be. I got a lot of my Christmas shopping done this weekend. I'm going to do some baking next weekend, and then try and just ease into it. There's a project I want to work on for myself. I'm going to work on it a little bit, work on some Advent stuff, read a few books by the tree. The holidays are my favorite time, and they tend to get really, really busy. So there's always like Christmas parties and things like that. So I understand like it gets really busy, but it'd be nice to not be too busy in this season. So I take all my Mondays off so that I can, come on you, so I can have a little bit of extra time just to kind of ease into the holiday spirit. But getting a lot of my shopping done this weekend was a huge bonus. Now I can really ease into it. Now that it's December, I really wanted to kind of cut things down. So we did a bunch of like craft shows and stuff this weekend, which is a lot of fun, especially in my area. But they got a lot of ideas for my markets next year, which is exciting. And then and now I'm going to try and put all that kind of away until the new year. Try and be chill a little bit, because the holidays can get out of hand quickly, and then before you know it, you're back at work, and that's just not as fun. All right, now there is a pencil line there. I'm just going to pop open my reference here on my computer to see what's going on. Okay, to see. I don't think there's a foundation photo, like a foundation line there. No, okay, that pencil is gonna have to come out. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna ignore this straight pencil line here because it doesn't exist. This is just kind of my horizon line on my original piece, I think. So we're just working on that. Oh, man. So what's everybody else up to? How did the live streams go this weekend? Saw a few people popped on. Okay. So now I'm going to add in a new one. I don't think this is, yeah, they're just normal, which is great. That makes things a lot easier. And then we're going to pick up a blue, but then I'm going to go a little bit darker just to kind of get some of this definition in. So I don't know how we'll do. We'll see how the rest of this goes, but my original plan was to just be kind of watercolor with some ink around it. But this pencil crayon is really giving me kind of some of that definition that I was hoping that the black lines would do. I always worry a little bit about a black outline because sometimes I can get a little heavy-handed with it, which is also another great way with great advantage to the digital, that if I get a little bit out of control, we can just pull it back a little bit, mask it out, or clear a layer or something. But this added little bit of pencil crayon is really giving it kind of a soft definition, which is really helping these lines, because watercolor on its own was a little too blobby, and it just looked a little unfinished. So this is getting it a lot further in the process which is great to see it coming through a little quicker. Because those who tuned in last week will know that I was at a point of concern that I wasn't going to get it done in time, or I wasn't going to, I wasn't liking the direction I was taking, or worried that they weren't going to like it. But then that magical 10 more minutes was really great. Okay, I got it from my diary. My son streamed Saturday. I may take a break until the holidays are over. I hear you. I was actually thinking the same thing. I was going to go right up to the holidays, but I don't know. I might do like one more, at least one more with the turtle, just so we can wrap that up. I think I'm at a point where I'm going to veto a new December illustration because this one's kind of taken over, and then we still have at least one live stream's worth left on the turtle, on the sea creatures and things. So I'm thinking maybe once I'm done that one, I may take a break as well until the new year, just to ease in and enjoy other live streams that are on. But that's not a bad call. But it's cool that your son streamed on Saturday. That's super fun. Collaboration. But yeah, not that I don't enjoy the live streams. I truly do. But it's getting to that holiday chill time too, so we'll see. I do like hanging out with you guys on Monday afternoons for sure. Monday evenings, I guess, depending on where you're at. Evenings in my part of the universe. So just giving a little bit of definition and shadow here, not going too crazy with all the watercolor because I don't want it to get blobby. This is kind of the midway point of defining some of these lines and kind of boundaries, and then finishing off with, I'm going to finish off with some accents for the black ink. I think just to make sure that anything really important, like the front door is kind of important, things like that, those are going to get the right definition, and then that will give me a hierarchy for the illustration as well, almost a little bit more naturally. I won't have to worry about hiding things or anything like that. Oh. But yeah, I know, I hear you. The holiday schedule tends to fill up really quick. Like I know I didn't have a lot of things booked, like the past few years, obviously, with COVID and everything. I didn't have a lot of holiday parties booked, so they're kind of back this year. And it went from like nothing booked to being like fully booked in like 2 days. So I'm at a point of RSVPing as pending to everything now. It's too much. Oh, Dari's concentrating more on writing Moonstone, which I want to finish by February. Cool. That'll be good. Good luck. You've got this. You can do this. Yeah, my focus on December is kind of like a couple projects that are just for me until I kind of get them rolling. I really want December to be that. So yeah, I hear you on that. Work on some projects that are for you that you're interested in. This is the time for sure. Okay, what's my goal here? Want to go a little bit darker, so I think this, because I want to do something like this. Let's get some more definition in here. Yeah, so now that we're in December, I want to be focusing on just a few things for myself, because next year's going to be very busy. I'm signing up for at minimum 3 markets next year. So I've never done that before. So throwing myself in the deep end and off the deep end in usual Erin fashion. So I'll be busy prepping for those. But like I said, I'm going to leave that for the new year to really dive in. I want to it's time for vacation. I've been finding in the office, it's been just, everybody's just a little bit punchy, a little bit just a little shorter than one might like, things like that, you know. It's time for vacation. We all need a break. We're all tired. Okay, let's just line this up a little bit more. And we gotta feed those creative juices by working for ourselves too sometimes. Sorry, I just don't really like that black line. It looks a little sloppy, so I don't want it to get in my head too much. So I see some numbers rolling in. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We are in Adobe Fresco today, working on a commission for a client for the holidays. Was working traditionally in watercolor initially and then have moved to Fresco last week just for my own peace of mind. And we're just kind of accenting with some of the pencil tool here. And then we're going to go in with some ink to just kind of add some definition a little bit more. Okay, let me go to here and see if I can, oh thank goodness, I was never going to find that. Would normally leave it there if it was for me, but it's not. So we're going to leave it there for, get rid of it. And then let's switch to the, is this the one? It is, yay! I just kind of want to get that, these highlights and shadows kind of where these transitions happen, just to give it a little bit more hint of that realism. I do like that this watercolor pencil crayon approach because it gives me that freedom to be a little less accurate where I can be. Being more of a hint of the illusion. Oh, not showing up as much as I thought it would. That's okay though, I think just an accent. I think, okay good, it is 300 dpi. Really bad time for me to take a look at that. Point of no return. Okay. A little scrappy, but I think that's okay. Okay. And I'm going to do this side. This is a bit of a repair job here because initially I thought this was a window, but there's actually a door here, so that's where some of that pen will come into play a little bit later. I just want to make sure I've got it right. Sweet. All right, so let's get some of the, I wonder if white's too white here. Maybe not. No, I think we'll be fine with some white there. Get some accents happening here. It's a little tougher to kind of decide on a light source here, just because this was a like a hedge, like front shot. And none of my references had really great lighting to reference, so definitely a bit of a challenge here, but kind of taking the stained glass approach in that, like, just kind of considering one flat light source and kind of going from there. A bit of a cleaner line on the highlight shadow, see what that looks like. Okay. I love the interaction with the Apple Pencil on this pencil tool. Got that side of that brush, that pencil really nicely in there. Work it nice and crispy. And that snoring noise you hear is the Mojo. Hello. Look at his fancy bow tie he got this weekend. What a fancy guy. But he had company, so he didn't sleep much. See, he's just a tired guy. Okay, you're gonna just sit here with me, buddy? You're doing so good, bud. He's all out of it. Just sit with me, please. No, I don't want you yelling at the neighbors, so just sit with me, okay? Look, everybody says hello. They're so happy to see Mojo. He's just the cutest guy. Okay, do the other side. Again, not convinced just yet, but if we do all the windows, it may get there. Oh man, oh, that was a mess. Let's just try again, shall we? There we go. Someone else's smoke alarm. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. Okay, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay, we'll get a little bit more in here. Not as much because they're just like little windows. All right. Oh, see, yeah, that's looking sharp. Okay. Okay, so we've got some of those bricks, some of those bricks. I was gonna add some more pencil crayon to the roof, but it's kind of got the touch that we want for it anyway. So it's kind of like wavy metal almost. Do have to define a little bit of these chimneys because they are a little bit odd. So let's do start here. Try defining these a little bit. Actually, let me pull up my reference. Yeah, okay. That one, and then Cool. Okay, we can treat them kind of like we treated the brick, which is great. Excellent. I love this kind of, like, the digital gives me that illusion of drawing by hand, but also room to do some crazy fixes, which really helps me a lot. Even that crisp kind of erase line that I was able to get on the window reflection, that was really nice. That was something I was definitely looking forward to. Gives a cool effect that I wouldn't have been able to get had I drawn this in real life, I don't think. At least not easily. Oops. There we go. Okay, look at this one done. Hi, handsome boy. You're doing so good. I actually think there's a bit of a brown top on this, so I should probably toss that in as well. I have a bit of a... This one was definitely added in after the fact because the one we're working on here was not in the original drawing. So it's a bit of a messy addition here, but but the magic of... Oh, sorry, buddy. That snoring is Mojo. I'm pretty sure he's got like a cold or something. Poor Mojo. Okay, bug. Okay, now which one of these had the... Do they both have one? Oh, they kind of both have one, eh? Nuts. All right, so what we'll do here is... Hint at this for now. And then hint at this one. Oops. Actually, you know what? That totally works. Just a little higher. Oh, dear. A little too aggressive. There we go. So this has been a really interesting project. It's not one I've ever done before, but it's been a pretty cool learning experience. Never thought about this, but I see definitely a lot of application for this style, and a good excuse to branch out was when I was asked to do this. It's more of an ask of like, do you know anybody who would do something like this, knowing that I was crazy busy. But then when I looked at it, I was like, I kind of want to try. I kind of want to do it myself because it looks interesting, looks a little different, and it would kind of just be a little bit of a different style than what I've been doing lately in the stained glass style and the gnomes and stuff. So luckily they were on board and tried something a little different at the end of the year, which is kind of fun. Clean up some of this scrappier bit here. Yeah, just threw the sky in the background, but then I erased it out instead of masking it. I was just in an open studio and not really thinking it through, so I think I would have masked it if I did it differently, but luckily it's a big wash on the back, so I'm not going to be too it's not going to be too hard to fix, hopefully. Let's just get a little bit less aggressive here. There we go. Bit of a shadow happening here. And trying to be random with my selection here so that there's not so much pattern, but enough definition, again, to show the different orientation of these bricks. But my brain wants to pattern and make it even, so I'm trying to not do that. Especially some of these ones like around the door and stuff, like they're all oriented a little differently, so you want to be a little bit more careful like in defining them so that they definitely stand out a little bit more than the other more regularly oriented ones. Alessandra's here. Stupid dishes got in her way again. That's okay. That is okay. I'm glad you're here now because dishes are like a lot. They're so needy, those dishes. Sorry, bug. Go ahead. No, you're such a nice guy. Don't push me. Don't push me. How did your live stream go this weekend, Alessandra? I wasn't able to attend any this weekend. I had company and we were doing Christmas shopping and all this kind of chaos, so I was not able to join everybody's streams again, so I apologize. I have catching up to do. Okay, I have to check the reference around this door because I don't think there's a frame. There's normally like a bit of a frame. No, the bricks go right up to the edge. Okay. There's just the frame on the top. I did coloring on canvas traditional work. Nice. I did see my coloring books. Like I have my coloring book that I created that's in my shop right now. I have one down in my living room, and I was looking at it. I'm like, I almost considered just coloring one of those pages on the live stream today, but I do have to get this done. So I vetoed myself so that future me would sleep at night. But that's awesome. Much traditional work. That's fun. Okay, so let's define a few more around this door then, because I've created this watercolor edge. I think that was just kind of part of getting this started. And drawing out those lines, and that edge kind of started to create naturally, so I want to just kind of break it up a bit so that it's not as prominent. So maybe even if I grab a pencil that's like this, I'll break this up a bit like that. There we go. Might help a little more. Break it up. You'll never know it was there. Digital magic. And then maybe this kind of color. Just kind of break it up a little bit. I don't want to get too many blocks of color in here because then it'll look like it's a cover up. How are we doing? Okay, cool. Alessandra, did you do your exam yet that you were studying for? I hope it's off your plate. And I hope it was you who was studying for an exam. I feel like as I'm saying this, there was somebody else who was studying for an exam. So if it's not you, I'm sorry. Oh no. So it didn't fail again. I was 2 minutes though. The whole exam was 2 minutes? Oh dear. Well, I hope you do well this weekend. I'm sending you good vibes. Oh, I'm at 2 points. Okay. Phew. Let's say a 2-minute exam. They're setting you up for failure there. That's not very nice at all. Okay. I'm going to get a definition in here so it looks a little bare. And then I think I have to leave this space alone because we're getting a little too much detail and I don't want to overwhelm the space. Because my bricks don't line up. Shh, don't tell. It's a secret. Okay. Ah, it's looking so good. Okay, we do need a little bit more definition on the other side because I did do all those highlights. Ooh, get rid of that. Do a little bit of that on this side. Just to... I don't want to, I like putting these highlights in, but I don't want to do too many bricks with highlights. So, like, I don't want to do a full series like I do with the stained glass or anything. I think that would be too overwhelming. But I think just balancing out some of these darks here just to balance out the other side of the door, I think will be helpful. Well, I hope you do well this weekend, Alessandra, because that would be nice to have that off your plate before the holidays. And everything. I'm tired of studying. I hear this. I enjoy school and everything, but the studying does wear thin at a point. So I believe in you. You can do the thing. How are we doing? Okay, yeah, that's looking really good. Super good. Okay, a couple more little highlights here and then we'll do something different. I love this palette feature in Fresco because it just keeps saving what I have here. I don't have to keep eyedroppering and guessing. So good. Okay, I'm just adding a couple extra highlights here and there just to balance out both sides. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Hi, Victoria. School takes up a lot of time. We were just talking about studying taking a long time. Not to worry. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're all here. I'm happy to be a study break. My fellow students. I was always a fan of the study break when I was in school. So I'm glad you joined in and I can help you a little bit. Hopefully it'll be a relaxing time for us all. Okay, so we see some new faces. We're working on this lovely piece here, commissioned for a fellow human for the holidays, and I'm just kind of like brushing up on some of the finer details. We started as a watercolor, traditional watercolor, and I am now just in fresco putting in some finer details to get it ready to send out. Yes, good luck, Victoria. What are we studying? That's always interesting to me. If you don't want to share, you don't have to, but I'm always interested in what people are taking in for themselves. All right. It was funny when I was working with my the person who this drawing is for. There are like little details that she noticed from the building. She's like, I don't think there's. Oh, there are window boxes right here. So it was just funny what you notice about or don't notice about a place in person, and then when you start looking at the details and seeing them a little differently. All the fine details, even in a pretty basic on the surface house, what's going on. It's pretty entertaining to see it come through. We're definitely going to define these guys because they're, again, that little bit different. I'm going to do a, oh, that's too much of a shadow. Lean my brush too much there. Pushed a little too hard there. Let's try this. Oop. Feel a little late to the game, but found a new shortcut in Fresco recently, and it's if you're using the Apple Pencil, at very least, if you double tap, it'll switch to the last tool you used, usually between the eraser and brush on my end. So that's been helpful, and also shed some light on how I've been accidentally erasing or drawing things when I'm in the eraser, just readjusting my pencil. And we'll switch my tools by accident. Yep, double tap and it'll switch. See, I just did it by accident. Eraser, brush, eraser, brush. It's been very helpful. Because sometimes when I drag my hand across to go switch the tool, I'll draw or something like that. Oh my gosh, Alessandra, you are right. It is almost 8 p.m. How the heck did that happen? Holy cow. Okay, now I just need like a double tap to switch between some lights and darks on my brush, on my colors here. Okay, I don't have very much definition up here. I should actually switch to the darker reds. Oh, there's a red right there, sorry. Alright, so where are we at here? Alright, coming together. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is under this, because this is like a window box, I am going to do a bit of a no, maybe not that color. I'll do, let's try all of this again. Just do a light, no, too big, too tilted. Okay, I'll do this, and we'll do this. And then I'll switch to this, to give it just a little bit more of a, Okay. So we're really coming together here. Now, one thing I do want to try before we're done, I'm going to save this first. And I have a bit of a pencil drawing there, but I don't really want to. I had like a dark edge. I want to do some like inking of some of the lines, but I don't really like what I did before. And some of these are a little too pixelated for me, so I think I'm going to go with a vector. But I just need it to be really, be careful. I think it actually was this one. Okay, but we'll bring it down to like a 2 maybe, 2.5. Maybe a little bit more. Because I really want to keep it subtle. Oh, I'm sorry, my Joe. Okay, so that's what we'll do then. I'll try. Looks a little bit. First, I think what I'll do is go back to my. You're okay, buddy. I'm gonna put in some, because this is a very wobbly looking brick line here. Let's clean this up a bit, and then we'll go in with the pen and clean it up. And then when we have the ink in, we'll see where some shadows need to go in, because there might be a need for like something like this, but I don't know yet. So I'm gonna go up here and just start. I'm not going full black because I just feel like it won't blend in as nicely. But I like the variation, as it feels a little bit more like a marker, which is nice. I have such a hard time with ink because I feel like it's too much. I also feel like I need it, so I'm trying to be really subtle with what I put in here. Alexander says this is looking nice. Thank you very much. I'm really loving the interaction that we're getting here. That might be too much. Oh, that's too little. I really love the kind of life we're getting out of this very subtle piece. Now we're gonna be nice boy if you go down there. Thank you. Oh, my leg is super asleep. Clear out some of this. Okay. Alexander says, oh, today's December 4th. That means it's time for me to take my chocolate out of my Christmas calendar. Amazing. I didn't get a chocolate one this year, but I did get a tea one and a puzzle one, which was kind of cool. It's going to be a full puzzle in the end, but I just get a few pieces a day to put together, which has been pretty fun. All right, let's see what that looks like when we zoom out here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's go do it that in the windows. So if I do enough of this, I may not need too much of the line. The line makes me nervous. The vector line that we had there, it just kind of like feels like it's too much. But I also do think that there's going to be some parts that need that definition. Oops. Come on. Oops, that's not what I wanted at all. There we go. Yeah, that's really bringing it to life for sure. Those shadows are perfect. Okay. Not that I drew them perfectly, it's just that they're the perfect addition to this, which is going to help it pull it together. I didn't know that was missing. Hey, Mojo. No, excuse me. Look at me, buddy. Come here. Mojo, good boy's quiet. Come here. On your bed. Oh, boy. You've been so quiet this whole time, okay? I know, buddy. I know. You're okay. Odari says, this looks fantastic. Thank you. It's very much coming together. I'm glad it's kind of coming out like the way I was picturing in my head, because that's always a concern, especially for a commission. If it doesn't come out like that I'm looking for in my head, for me, that's fine. I learned something, but for a request from someone else that's going to be a Christmas gift for a family, pressure's on, bud. Oh, Alessandra says she got a train chocolate. I was curious, so thank you very much for keeping me in the loop. That used to be a big deal when we were kids. We'd have the chocolate advent calendars, and yeah, the shape was a big deal. I haven't done one of those in a long time. So fun. So many different kinds of advent calendars now. It's so hard to stay in the loop. All right. Okay, so let's just swap over to, oops, too aggressive with the eraser. Okay. Oh, coming to life. Ojari says that's hard to do. I assume, yeah, we're talking about like the commissions and stuff and the styles. Yeah, tough to match what people have in their heads. But this is coming together so nicely. Oh my goodness. Alessandra asks also, do you want me to send you a pic of what I did on the stream yesterday? Yes, please. It'd be so nice to see what you're up to. Okay. Now I'm gonna go shadow crazy because those ones above there like worked super well. I was gonna say I want to live there, but I see this house is already taken. Well, it's sitting vacant right now, but it's a little far from home. It's definitely overseas. So, but I'm glad I'm making it look homey because that was the goal. Oops. It's you might have missed it, Alessandra, but it's this commission is for, this is the childhood home of the person who's requested this. So it's a little bit, luckily they're very open and we're both on the same page on this so far anyway. But yeah, I want to make sure I do it justice because there's important memories in this house, so I want to make sure I do it right. Okay. Yeah, those shadows are giving it a lovely life. Okay, so that means we have to do them here. And here. Oof, yes. Huge life. Living. I'm sure you're doing a great job. Oh, I hope so. I want to do good justice. This is for a person that's a very delightful human being. So I want to do good things for this final piece. Oh, really coming together. Okay, so let's turn this off and this off and this off. So this is kind of where we started today, guys. And we've come together with much life. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to clear that layer right now. And try... I think we had the doorknob was like right here. Which means I'd have to do some editing. So I'm just going to erase that for now because that's going to stress me out. But I just wonder what we do here. I'm going to have to pull this over because the doorknob has to go there. It's not in the photo. So I'll work some magic offline there because I'm not 1,000,000% convinced that we need that, but let's zoom out and see. It does give a little bit of extra life, eh? So if I do something like this. We probably do need that, eh? But I don't want to keep any of those lines I just put in. I want to try. I'm not really living for those lines just yet. What I do want to do is do this. Mojo, what are we doing, bud? Leave the carpet alone, yes? Thank you, dear. This guy, I tell ya. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. When we zoom out. Alright, so I think we're looking pretty good. I think I have another shadow I gotta throw in here. And then we can work on that a little bit more. But yeah, I think we're at a good point for me to take a bit of a break. And then we can see what they think and we can build a little bit more. But I think I'm just about done. There's just a couple more final tiny details I have to do. I think I'm going to have to put in some of those line definitions, but I just don't know what they look like yet. So that'll be figuring that out. So we'll hit save here. And I will let you all get on with your evening. So thank you so much for tuning in so far. I really appreciate everybody who tunes in, checks out my work and everything. I will be back at very least next week. I'm hoping to have this finished. I think we really need to get this done in order to get it sent out for the holidays. So this will be done, I'm hoping by next stream. So we'll finish off some of the turtle and jellyfish and everything next week. And then I'll make a call as to how many more streams are left before the holidays. But I will be back at very minimum next Monday. Yeah, so I'll see you all then. So thank you so much. Amazing work. Thank you, Odari. I really appreciate that. I hope you all have a fabulous week. And I'll catch you same time and place next week. Bye, guys.